Ah, the beautiful Bretonnians. Can anyone say Renaissance? These guys are traditional knights in the European sense, the ones we think of when we think back to Crusades and all those knightly sort of times, the effective jousting and all that kind of stuff. The knightly knights and their honour, etc., and the dirty peasants that do as they're told. Ah, the days of Monty Python and the Holy Grail are brought back. So let's have a look at some of the way that they're played, some of the advantages and disadvantages of the 7th edition book and the 8th edition rules. Can anyone say charge? I'm sorry, but charge! Lots of blocks of mounted cavalry units that excel at knocking everyone else out with the charge, and support from the peasants from afar is basically the mainstay within the Bretonnians book. Here are some of the few things that you might want to take a look at implementing within your list. Men-at-arms in blocks of 40 with a character, which is an amazing tar pit, because even though they're probably not going to be able to break anything by themselves, they're just going to sit there and probably are going to sit there thanks to stubborn for a fair while, so they can take a lot of pain before they die and provide adequate pinning to allow cavalry charges to come on in and really hit home. Also, with shooting getting a bit of a uplift, the Bretonnian bowmen are absolutely awesome. You get like 2 units of 20 bowmen with stakes and flaming arrows, and they're fear-causing to cavalry, and I believe that counts as defending an obstacle in combat as well, so that just adds another dimension to it. They're a bitch and a half to try and clear out, obviously. Volley fire means that with 2 units of 20, you can pop out 40 shots a turn from turn 1. That's like, You're going to be killing a lot of shit, even though, it's not the greatest. The dice are effectively going to be doing a lot of work for you. 3x3 lance formations can be very effective. You only got 1 knight that's not attacking, but for the rest, you're getting at least a 2. For this, you're getting a +2 rank bonus, provided you haven't taken any casualties, and you get a +1 for charging, which you'd be hoping that you're charging. Keep in mind, this means that everybody along the flanks are going to be able to attack, plus you're getting your support attack as well. It's a very nice little thing. You should definitely have a look into it if you're thinking about Bretonnians. With the new Law of Life, you can resurrect knights, and if you've got really expensive units running around on the board, that is just like, oh my god. Law of Light is absolutely top tier. It's fantastic. Grail Knights are not as effective as they were. I think they're just too expensive to have in big units of, and I don't think you get enough bang for your buck. I think Trebuchets are a much better investment. Questing Knights, however, look a lot more attractive as they're getting their +2 to strength with their great weapons. They're just super, oh my god, they're going to be very awesome and durable, and okay, against my little warriors, they're going to be pumping out a fair bit of pain. Catapults are looking, some of the best in the game, and with the new percentage of troops and everything, you can take a lot more. I think you can take I'm not entirely sure of the points cost, but I think you can take 3 of them in a regular game. Magic potential isn't the greatest, but you have access to the top tier laws, which is really, really cool. As I was saying earlier, you can resurrect knights, which is awesome. Movement will be interesting. It's not really forgiving, but so your lancers will really have to save the day. You really have to be very conscious of the way that you play, and same thing with combat. Again, it's very unforgiving. Multi-charges and focus support fire, whilst having peasants, units, tar pits is like a must. You have to be very coordinated and very focused to pull off a kind of win with the Bretonnian. The lance formation available to the Bretonnians is amazing and one of the fantastic advantages that the Bretonnian army book offers. As I've already stated, the flanks get to attack as well on the charge, and it also provides cheap units that can break ranks. Should also be worth noting that you only need units 3 wide in a lance formation to count as ranks, so it's a lot easier to break ranks. The Prayer of the Lady gives a 6+ ward save army wide, and now it also gives magic resistance, which could give certain units a 3+ ward save against magical attacks, which is just awesome. The hero's percentage of army composition means that it's quite possible to have a paladin in most of your big important blocks, which obviously is really, I don't really think I need to explain that. Knights don't need to take panic tests from peasants, and peasants can use knights leadership, and also peasants are cheap and provide a really good tar pit, so keep a look on that. Some of the disadvantages, however, in the Bretonnian army book is that with the 8th edition rules, I think Bretonnians have suffered a fair bit because the lack of staying power and having those big, infantry blocks to really hold a center and, deal out some massive damage is essentially opposite to their playstyle. I think they're very much lots of knights charging in and everything, and peasants are just crap for that. Obviously, they're going to take a lot of work on, and I don't think they're very forgiving, so I wouldn't recommend them to a new player, but they can be very effective. In terms of aesthetics, they're very bright and pleasing. Unique heraldry lends itself immensely to those who are intent on figure painting. Not too much room for conversions, I don't think, but made up for on the painting side of things. They're very crisp and beautiful looking, and who doesn't like the look of charging knights in this game? Alright guys, so hopefully that'll help you with those of you who want to get into Bretonnians.